Hello, this video is all about the best way to clear up a haunting if that's something that's happening to you. My name's Kathleen. I'm one of the spirit operators. I do this work. I've been doing it for a few years. So I have experience with this. This is what I have found to be the best way to deal with these things. I am rather opinionated about a lot of the crap that's out there on television and the internet. So be really, really careful of where you're getting advice and what you're doing. So there are different types of ghosts, and I'll do another video on that probably at some point. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in. So you may be experiencing different types of hauntings depending on what's going on. So hauntings can be your home could be haunted, the place that you work could be haunted, any other place there could be a haunting. Hauntings also happen. You can get a ghost or spirit that attaches to you and follows you around. You could bring home a piece of furniture or an object that a ghost is attached to. I have a lot of difficulty in antique stores. So yeah, there's different types of hauntings that can happen, but this should work for any of those. Okay, at least that's been my experience. So let's see, what do we need to get into? So there are ghosts come in all varieties. I look at them as humans without a physical body. You get good humans and bad humans. And same thing with spirits or ghosts. Okay. So a, a spirit or ghost can make you aware of their presence in a multitude of ways. They can make noises, which there's no way that noise would occur normally. For instance, one day I had a large green garbage bag in my kitchen, and it started making a noise like as if there was something alive in it, but it wasn't moving, and there was absolutely nothing alive in it. So that right away told me, okay, I've got a spirit. You can see them sometimes. Sometimes it can just be movement at the corner of your eye type of thing, or just full blown hello. It depends. I can see spirits with my eyes, but also if I'm going to someone's house and I'm trying to help clear away any entities that are there, I tend to close my eyes because then I get a clear mental image of what it is I'm dealing with. So it depends on what your abilities are. You can also smell them sometimes. There'll be a smell that, where's that coming from? That doesn't make sense. That's probably a spirit. They can also touch you. I have a spirit that follows me around. I haven't got rid of it. I haven't tried. It rubs up against me. It seems to be a small animal. You can sometimes feel pressure, like if you sit down, it feels like somebody's sitting beside you, or they've come to sit on your bed, perhaps when you're laying down. That's another indication that you might have a visitation. So sight, sound, smell. All right, taste. You can taste things sometimes, or have like a flavor come into mind. That can happen. I don't know if that's a way. for a spirit to get your attention, but it might be. I haven't had. I have some experience with that, but not a lot. So that is another way that they can communicate with you. So if you are aware of these things happening, that means you have the ability to interact with them, which is why they're bothering you. Because there's a lot of people that never ever experience anything because they don't have the ability to pick up on it, or to understand it or do anything. So if you are um, aware of the haunting, it's not just other people in the home that are saying, hey, this place is haunted, or at work or whatever, but you yourself have experienced it, then you have the ability to communicate and help these spirits, which is why they're doing this, to get your attention so that you can help them. And we want to help them because that helps us make spiritual progress, if we're being kind and helping others, right? Okay. So if you're not in a place where you feel comfortable doing this work yourself and you want to bring somebody else in to do it, use extreme caution, please. Okay. Quite often they make the situation worse. Um, from what I've seen online and some television shows, paranormal groups, they seem to just want to prove whether or not there is actually a spirit. Um, I'm kind of past that because, like, yeah, I know they're there. So if you're going to call them in, chances are they're going to make it worse because they're just there to prove whether or not a spirit exists, but most of the time they don't know how to get rid of it. And that's something too. You want to watch if you're bringing in a psychic or somebody else, a medium or somebody that's going to come and help. Ask them questions. What is it that they do? What will they be doing? Okay, first of all, if they're charging you money, no. The more money they charge, the worse they are because they're just a con artist, okay? It's not like, oh, I'm at a premium, so you have to pay this much. No, because they don't really know what they're doing. Um, People that are on a spiritual path that actually have abilities and gifts don't charge for this. Now, if someone comes into your home and they're helping you and they're not charging you and they clear away the spirits, if you wish to give them a gift, absolutely, that's fine. They most likely would accept that. And that can be a donation or a gift of any kind. That's okay. But if they come in asking up front, I need to get paid this much money to do this, then they're not someone that you want to be dealing with. That's my personal experience and my beliefs. Because if someone actually knows what they're doing spiritually, no, you want to be doing good for others, purely to do good for others, because that helps you make spiritual progress. If I was to go around charging people money, then I'm just going to get money, and it's gonna interfere with my ability to make spiritual progress, and that would just be a waste of my time. Okay. And that's how I view it, and that's how most people should view it if they know what they're doing and they know what they're talking about. So yeah, so ask questions. What are they going to do? Are they going to force the spirit out? And it depends on your situation. Okay, and I'll get into that further on in the video. But yeah, find out if they're gonna fight. If it sounds like they're gonna fight whatever's there or force whatever there is out, again, not somebody you really want to be dealing with because they can make it worse. Okay. Because what happens a lot of times is they force the thing out and then it will come back or more will enter. Okay. But again, I'll get into it. Okay, so if you have someone or if you have the ability to do this yourself, so you have experienced the haunting and you are aware of this presence, it's let you know, however, that's happened for you. then you have the ability to do this, okay? And so here's what you have to do. You can do this out loud if like if you're home alone or in a workplace or whatever, you're alone, you're comfortable with doing it. If not, you can do it in your head, because as far as I know, most, if not all, spirits have clairvoyance, so they will be able to pick up what it is you're trying to talk to them with your mind. Okay, that's my experience. Okay, so you want to help them. All right. If you live in your home and someone came into your home and forced you out of it, you would not be very happy. And so if you've had a ghost or a spirit that's been around for a long time in the place that you're living, trying to force it out, it's not going to be happy. That's not a kind thing to do. Um, so you want to be kind and you want to help it to leave. Let it make the decision to leave. Okay. Now, before I tell you how to do this, I just want to give you a caution, a warning. Once you do this, the chances are you may and probably will attract more spirits coming in because you have the ability to help them now. And somehow word gets out that you can help. Okay, I have trained one of my students how to do this, and he's doing this work, and I think he gets a lot more visitations than I do. But anyway, so just be prepared. And so ask yourself, is this something you really want to be dealing with? Do you want other spirits coming in that you may have to deal with in the future? Okay. Because if you don't, then you might not want to do this and you might try to find somebody else to do this for you. And please don't trick anyone into doing it. Okay. Let them make the decision. Okay. So, how we want to do this, we want to talk with the spirit and let them know they need to have a mind of compassion. Compassion is the key. We all need compassion to make spiritual progress. Okay. Compassion is the key that unlocks the door for us to be able to make spiritual progress and advance spiritually. Okay. So, for a spirit, I would consider them to be on a lower realm than a human realm. That doesn't mean they're less than us. Like, we should always look at everything as being equal: animals, insects, other humans. Like, everyone's equal. So spirits are equal. However, they're stuck in a lower realm, if that makes any sense. Okay. And so because of that, all they need is to have a mind of compassion and they will ascend. The thing is, they're stuck where they are because they haven't had a mind of compassion. And that's all it takes. So you just have to let them know that all they need to do is have a mind of compassion and they will ascend. Okay. They'll have they'll be able to go to a better place. Let's just put it that way. So let them know all they need is a mind of compassion. And then what I tend to do is explain how to achieve that mind because they may not know. And so I'll say if there's anyone that they've ever disturbed or harmed and it hurt the person or upset whoever it was, and all they need is sort of have a mind of regret and to feel sorry for the person they harmed, to have that mind of compassion for other, right? And that's usually all it takes. If they're still kind of struggling, and if you yourself have been, I don't know if you have a chronic illness, that I have a chronic illness, so I tend to use that. I let them know, like, they can have compassion for me and the suffering and that I go through, or anything that comes to your mind, any kind of suffering that they may be able to associate with, okay, to give them that mind of compassion. And that's all it will take. And hopefully you'll get an indication that they have left on their own. I tend to see them, they'll be in front of me, and then I tend to see them turn into like a sparkling light. They kind of have this euphoric glow about, like, oh, this is really working, and then up they go. And that's my experience. I don't know that everyone would have the exact same experience, but that's how I know that it has worked and it has helped the spirit to move on. And they have to do it themselves. I don't force anything into any kind of white light or anything like that. That's just kind of mean. Let them decide for themselves. So you can ask them, you know, if they want to do this, here's how to do it. That's what I tend to do. I've had success with this. As far as I know, I haven't had any failures, because I check in with people to make sure their house, their home, or workplace, whatever, is still clear. And I've always been told, yeah, it's been fine since I did this work. So it should work for you. It works for the one student that I have taught. He just had the sort of gift to be able to do this. And when you've done that, when the spirit has ascended, it's really good to dedicate your merit for having done that virtuous action of helping them, right? Because you've helped them leave the spirit realm and move up to a better place. So it's good to dedicate. That way you don't lose the merit that you've worked on. Okay, so that's just sort of for normal ghosts, right? Sort of the not nasty ones. Okay, so let's take a look at the demon stuff and negative. There's different negative spirits. Okay, so negative spirits, don't challenge them. Don't fight them. They feed off of negativity. And if you get angry, they feed off your negative emotions big time, which is why they tend to do things to make you scared or to make you angry. And you may find that there's more fighting with the people in the house, this sort of thing. So that's what they're all about. Making you depressed, any negative sort of things, they just feed off of it. So don't try to fight them, because they'll just get stronger, because they're going to feed off of your anger. And don't try to challenge them, because they'll take the challenge. Okay, so to be really, 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 really careful when dealing with any sort of negative entity, if you're having negative things happening in your home, okay? Because we don't want them to get more powerful. What I do, I offer them to ascend, just like I do with a regular ghost. I offer them, if they want to ascend, if they want to stop having to do what they're doing. Now, there are different levels, different types of negative spirits. And again, if that's something you want to know more about, I'll make another video, but I'm not going to explain that in this video. So the sort of the smaller negative, they just jump at the chance to do this, and so they'll ascend. The bigger, badder ones, I've had one demon who was like, yeah, right, this isn't gonna work. Okay, let's try it, and was extremely surprised when it worked. And bye-bye. Okay, so just offer them the chance to ascend and explain, well, they need a mind of compassion. While you're doing that, seriously, send them love. Now, I don't mean the love like, oh, I love you, I think you're great, I worship you. No, 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 no. I'm just talking about, just having compassion for them, because they're getting themselves a lot of negative karma with their behavior and they're not aware. They totally think they're these powerful, great things. No. And they're going to pay for it in the future. And so we need to have compassion for them. Okay. And so send them love, send them compassion, feel sorry for them because they don't know what they're doing and they're getting themselves a lot of negative karma. When you do that, okay, like I said, I've only had one demon that actually took the challenge and ascended. All the rest just kind of look at me like, oh, I can't get anywhere with you. And they leave. They just leave. So if you're clearing another place and it's another family or other people that you're dealing with and they've been dealing with the demon, give them advice on how to keep it out. Okay, they need to clean their home or clean the space up because negative entities absolutely love hoarders. The people that just their homes are just really dirty, messy, they haven't done the housework. They love that. Okay. And try to get the people to and be happier, to stop any kind of fighting, try to resolve issues in the home, because otherwise they'll just attract the things back. Okay, so I don't know that you're going to get to the level where you're going to be going around clearing up other houses or other haunted places, but yeah, if there's other people involved, they need to be happy. So you're watching comedy shows or just anything laughter is really good. Bring happiness, bring love, bring laughter into that space. And that will keep the negative entities out. If you're going to be fighting and just continuing to have sort of negative attitudes, chances are they'll come back. So that's something that you have to kind of look at too. If you're in a situation where people around you are negative and you have to deal with this, then keep that mind of love and compassion. That should keep the spirit away from you. It may disturb others, but it should keep it away from you. Okay, if you can't clear it away completely because of other negative people that you can't control them, right? So yeah, to keep yourself safe. And I'll do other videos on how to protect yourself and stuff. Okay. So let me know in the comments if you found this to be helpful, and if you try this yourself and it works, please, or it doesn't work, let me know so I can help further. Yeah, just leave a message or a comment below. So I just want to double check. I think if I missed anything, but I don't think so. Yeah, so that should work. Okay, I hope that made sense and I was clear. I was worried about not being clear. Okay, so that's wonderful. Good luck. Again, if you're having issues and you don't want to be doing this yourself, see if you can find someone that seems to know what they're doing. Okay, because there's a lot of hucksters and con people out there, and I cringe so much when I see these shows on television, then haunted places, like, no, they're not doing the right thing. Okay, that's just me. Sorry, I'm rambling. Okay, thank you so much for watching this, and best of luck.